you almost would have to actually see it to be able to visualize how it was. And I guess that was one of the reasons I knew the neighborhood could be better than it had became, because based on where it was when I first came here. I got home that evening about 5 o'clock, and I could smell something is burning. And then when I went on to the back part of my house, I saw the garage had been burned. Everything, the fire department had been out here and everything, and nobody contacted me. And I said, oh my goodness. So I went out there and I looked, and of course, it was just about down. The next thing they did, probably 3 months later, I was here that night, they shot 2 of my windows out. This one and that one. That's when I said I got to do something. Drugs got popular, and of course Allendale was the main headquarters. That just caused so many different problems. And they always knew I didn't approve of what was going on, and that was one of the reasons they always seemed like wanted to target me. I felt like if I could stop what was causing the neighborhood to be so bad, which was that corner, and if I put something like vegetables and flowers, and if they saw something beautiful could come out of a site that looked at that bad, they would say, well, you know, that spot looks pretty good. What about clean up this other spot, and that would look nice too? That was my thought. That was the idea. And I asked the man that owns that lot where the garden is now, could I use his lot? He said, well, why would you even want that lot? You going up there, you're going to get killed. And I remember telling him, I'm already scared to death. I don't have the money to move. I said, and since I can't do no better, the only thing left for me is to do what I can to save the neighborhood. And if I die, I'll be willing to die. Every morning when I would get up, I would feel so bad and depressed because I just knew it was going to be another bad day in the neighborhood. And so I would always come out here in the yard because the yard and flowers would give me hope. And I was out there putting up grass or weeds or something, killing time, feeling sorry for myself, out there crying. I was praying to ask God to send me a miracle. Tears began to roll on my eyes, and so after I stood up to wipe the tears from my eyes, and I looked and I saw a group of people, maybe 6 or 7, walking the streets. And I said to myself, who in the world are these people? One of the boys said, good morning, I'm from Community Renewal and we came to help you. And I said to myself, you know, I just prayed for a miracle. I remember the first morning we decided to go out there and start the garden. Community Renewal was out there. Drug dealers came out there that morning about 11 o'clock, and they really picked at me. They didn't try to physically attack me, but they called me every name in the world. That went on for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and I guess they feel like I wasn't gonna quit. And so little by little, it just began to get better and better, and eventually it ended up being the most safest, predominantly poor neighborhood in the city, Allendale. The very people who did me so bad during the years, they was a lot of times the ones that did more for that garden than any other person in the neighborhood with them drug dealers. I have never had to worry about that garden being mowed because some of them drug dealers would always mow it. A lot of people didn't understand about fruit with no garden, not no so-called community garden, but they saw this one working. And they said, you know, if that one can work, well, I'm going to do the same thing. Because having a garden is simple. That's about the simplest thing you can do is have a garden. But look how it brings people together.